Hello, everyone. I'm Anne-Marie, and today my teammates Nadia, Carmen, Renata, and I are going to talk to you about Dot Eater. Dot Eater is a multiplayer online clone of the classic arcade game Pac-Man Battle Royale. The inspiration for this project came from the fact that throughout its development, the members of our team were separated by social distancing guidelines, and we wanted to make something that, in addition to lightening the mood, would also encourage interaction between our users. We settled on Pac-Man because most people are comfortable with the main rules of the game. Eat dots, don't get killed. As you can see, when we first opened the game, we click to begin a game. That takes us to a menu where we can enter our name and decide whether we want to create a game or join a game. I'm starting a game for our group, so I will choose create a game. And then I'm going to text my game code over to my teammates who will enter their display names and click join a game. As the player who created the game, I see that everyone is in now that I see all of their names listed, and I click the start game button. At this point, a countdown fires on everyone's screens, after which the players' Pac-Mans are displayed and the players can begin the game. They use their arrow keys to maneuver around the screen, eating dots and running away from our intelligent ghost. If they eat a big dot, they turn big for 5 seconds, during which the tables are turned and they can eat the ghost or their friends. The last Pac-Man standing is declared the winner. As you can see, all movements and game board elements are simultaneously displayed across all screens in real time. And now I'll turn things over to Renata to discuss the tech stack we used to accomplish this.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. Since we decided to create a 2D game, Phaser 3 seemed to be the natural choice for the core of our game logic. We used React to retrieve players' names, generate a game room code, as well as to initiate or restart the game. Given that we only have one URI route, a lot of the client interface is done with React.js Popup, a React library for easy-to-use modals. For storing data, we decided on Firebase's NoSQL database Firestore, where for each game we store its corresponding player's name and socket ID. Storing this information will allow us to scale our game in the future. Finally, because this is a multiplayer game, we had to decide on how to manage our WebSockets. Since storing any positioning history was irrelevant to the functionality of our game, we agreed to store this information on the server and use socket.io for real-time bidirectional event-based communication. This brings us to the first challenge we wanted to highlight. As you noticed in the demo, there's a lot of moving parts with things changing throughout the course of each game. The challenge was to be able to pass each change in information over so that what happens on one player's screen also updates for all others in the game. I'll let Carmen explain in a little more detail.
Thank you, Renata. In order to account for any possible latency, we have ghost movements based off of only one player. Once the game begins, player 1's ghost will choose and chase his target based on the position of the closest player. The ghost's position and velocity is broadcast from player 1 to other players constantly. The ghost for all other players will see its movement rendered based on this information. Each player's interactions will only be materialized if it happened on their end, meaning that if they overlap with a ghost and die on their end, but on your end their hitboxes didn't necessarily overlap, they will still emit a signal to have their death triggered to all other players. We made this decision because it is important that each player feels their interactions are reflected accurately. Nadia will now speak to you about our future plans.
Thanks, Carmen. To further extend our stretch goals, we want to work more on this project and build next levels to enhance the gaming experience. We have a plan to add more complex mazes with more ghosts to increase the difficulty level. Incorporating live audio streaming of the players will make the game even more fun, as players will get their chance to share their excitements and vocal expressions. Moreover, we think a 2 versus 2 game mode will be great, where 2 players will team up and fight against the other 2. It's been a remarkable experience for all of us, and all thanks to Full Stack Academy for the phenomenal platform and support. Here is our game link, so grab some of your friends and check it out. If you are further interested in our code, please follow our GitHub link below. We appreciate your time and thank you all for listening.